Can I get a quick introduction and title of who I'm here with today?
Sure. I'm State Senator Kristen McDonald-Rivet, and I am the Democratic candidate for the 8th congressional seat.
Perfect. And why do you feel that young people here at Delta or here in Michigan should vote for you?
You know, I laugh at that question because I'm the mom of 6 kids, and 5 of them are adults in their 20s, and, they ask me the same question. I have spent my entire career working on issues that to try to make things more affordable for families and to create really great opportunities for young people. So, an example, right now in the state Senate, I sit on the Appropriations Committee. I sit on the 2 of the education budgets, and we are really working hard for universal community college, making the step into Delta so much easier financially for people, particularly for young people, but also for the folks that have dropped out of the, have maybe got a few credits and then went to do their thing, and allowing people to come back at any age in order to get their certificate, their associate's degree, the kinds of things they need to advance their careers. I just really believe that we need to have more opportunity for people to grow and get on a path to, whatever they perceive as the greatest piece of their life. That's something that should be a right in Michigan.
Amazing. And if elected, kind of what do you plan on doing for some of the high costs of living?
Yeah. So in the state Senate, I have a really strong record of tax cuts, looking at housing affordability, capping the cost of prescription drugs. In Congress, the first thing we have to do is elect people who are more interested in getting things done than sowing chaos. But in addition, we need to expand the child tax credit, which did happen but then was repealed under this Congress. But essentially what that did is reduce child poverty by 50%. We can cap the cost of prescription drugs, which so many of our seniors in particular are struggling with. The other thing that we need to do is make higher education, community college in particular, more affordable across the country as well as here in Michigan, and get a handle on the amount of student loan debt that so many of our young people are carrying. Minimally, we ought to be looking at why the federal government charges such a high interest rates on federally backed student loans. These are just things that feel crazy to me. They're things that we can do. We just have to be able to have grown-ups in Congress that are willing to work through issues, build bridges to the other side of the aisle, and actually get something done.
Absolutely. And what are your views on immigration here in the United States?
That is a gigantic question. So I would say we very clearly have a problem at the southern border. We have 10 million people crossing. We've got a problem. So the first thing we need to do is to surge support and financial assistance to the people that are working there. But my primary concern about what's happening is the flow of fentanyl into our streets. Right? It's across the border. It's through our ports of entry. We have to really focus on that. It's why I've been endorsed by our county prosecutor, our county sheriff, because of the way that I believe and the things that I stand for that help law enforcement deal with the issue. But most importantly, let me say that we have an immigration system that is fundamentally broken and has been broken for decades because it is a political football that both parties want to use in election time, so they stop it when it's in Congress. And I just simply don't play those partisan games. A working immigration system that allows people who want to come to our country, work, follow our laws, contribute, there ought to be a legal route for them to get here.
And how do you feel about the views on election integrity due to illegal immigration here in the United States?
There is no evidence that that is an issue. In fact, it has been studied, it has been litigated, it has gone through courts in multiple states. It just simply isn't there. I will tell you that I believe that that's a scare tactic and a way of leaders across this country who are far more interested in dividing us than uniting us to get something done. And quite frankly, I think Americans, and Michiganders in particular, are ready to turn the page and go on to something that is about the things that they're worrying about, which is the cost of living, which is protecting our reproductive freedoms, which are making sure that our seniors are not living in poverty. Those are the things we need to focus on, not sowing lies that make people fearful that our elections aren't safe.
Absolutely. And my last question for you here is just what is your stance on abortion rights and how do you feel that they affect people here in Michigan?
Okay, so this is really, really important. I have 4 daughters, and right now in this country they have less rights than I did at their age. our reproductive freedom, we protected 2 years ago here in Michigan, but a national abortion ban would impact and erase that law and all that hard work that we did, work that I did in the state Senate. We need to make sure that our rights are protected and codify the rights that we had under Roe. And I really want to point out that we have a lot of Republicans, my opponent including, that are trying to change what they said 2 years ago, 4 years ago, about their views on women's reproductive rights, and we shouldn't trust them.
And my last thing here is just opening it up for you. Is there anything else that you want to say to the young voters here?
Yeah, I think that we have a responsibility as a community to make our local communities places where you all want to stay and raise your families and form your careers. And what that means is we have to invest in good transportation, and we have to make sure that there are good, high-paying jobs for you guys to be here. I know myself, I'm in my mid-50s, my friends, we want to see our grandkids. And so for you all, we should provide opportunities so that you have voice at the table of how we're shaping our communities, and that there are places that you can go where you feel comfortable, and jobs that allow you to have one job and live a middle-class lifestyle.
Amazing. Thank you so much for
You're
your
welcome.
time.